If you ask anyone what the worst Sonic toy line is, chances are they'll say Tomy. I mean, it makes sense. Tomy took years from getting the license to make merchandise of the mainline Sonic series. Because of that, they really didn't have much time to make all that much mainline stuff. In Tomy's 2018 catalog, it was shown that the new Collector series would consist of all kinds of amazing stuff. There were figures of Chow, Infinite, Classic, and Modern 2-packs. It was amazing. But as the months rolled out, fans realized something was up. Only a handful of the Tomy Sonic products were actually hitting store shelves. It was so disheartening. So many amazing products were just cancelled, and we never figured out why. And while I still lie awake at night wondering what Tomy Classic Eggman could have been like, there's at least this to fill the void. Now, this site is essentially the resume of someone who wished to remain anonymous, who I'm guessing is one of the leads of the Tomy Sonic line. Either way, the site shows blueprints for Tomy's Sonic 2018 line. The homepage has multiple product categories, but we'll be taking a look at 3 of them. First, the figures. So the first image is this amazing Photoshop of all the figures with Kenner R2-D2 in the background for some reason, but the next pictures are of the Metal Sonic comic book pack. Now most of the products here follow the same pattern, or a variation of it at least. First there are black and white drawings, and then colored ones, and then a 3D model. After that, there's the prototype of the figure next to the final one. Now this one's really cool, as originally he wasn't going to be posed, but I guess they chose to make him pose, which I think worked out for the better. On his second page though, there's something that wasn't even in the Metal Sonic pictures, that being every piece of him spread out to show how the figure was made. Shadow's up next, and we get an explanation of his pose, being that he's ready to run. Also we get this concept art, which is really cool. Next I just want to point out something on the page for the Chow figures, that being the references from Sega, which originally do show the figure with the highlights that Chow should have. Next up is the Classic and Modern Eggman 2-pack. Nothing really of note here besides the concept art of Modern Eggman, which was in a much different style than everything else, but they look amazing nonetheless. Next up is the Amy counterpart to the Eggman pack, where Classic Amy has a hand-drawn variant of the dissection page, and for some reason there's no model for Modern Amy even though this is the final figure. I just find that a little weird. And up next is by far the most amazing thing found on this site. This has been out for a while, but it's what made me want to make this video. Here is Tomy Silver the Hedgehog. This is incredible. The fact that we even know he exists is groundbreaking. He's in a great pose, has a super accurate sculpt, and looks like it would have been an amazing figure. This is by far the most interesting part of the website. Not just showing things that didn't come out, but weren't even revealed in the first place. Other than that, the only real thing of note here is the Zavik page, which shows that the pack could have been a 2-pack with just Zavik and Infinite, and he also doesn't have the shiny glossy look, instead being a more matte-like one, which I think would have been a lot better than the glossy one he has on the final figure. Before we get into the cancelled plushes, there's one more thing I want to talk about. There is an entire gallery of the production of the Tomy Classic Sonic Ultimate figure. Now I'm not going to go that in depth with it, as it is something that did come out, but it goes really in depth. He shows stuff like he's based off the Sonic Nendroid, some sketches of the figure, style guides from Sega, and it shows the complete history of the figure's production. Finally, there's the plushes. It starts out with the Shadow and Eggman emoji plushes, but then it gets to something awesome. Emoji Amy. Tomy was going to make an emoji plush of Boom Amy, and it looks awesome. It looks like it would have fit in with all the release plushes. Other than that, there really isn't that much. I mean, it seems like Knuckles was in development in October 2017, but that's not really that surprising when you think of how long it takes to make merchandise. And apparently the Dark Chow was going to have a black ball instead of the red one that he has in the final plush. But there is one more thing here. One thing that would have caused a black hole to emerge. Cities would crumble, the moon would explode. The world would have been uninhabitable when the raw power of Christmas Sonic the Hedgehog is unleashed. How can one even speak of this plush? I mean, it's a 12-inch Sonic wearing a Christmas hat. It seemed like he would have been exclusive to Target given his name, but I mean, why Christmas Sonic? Tomy's products almost always get delayed, so chances are he wouldn't have even been available during Christmas time. Either way, this guy is just too charming to hate. Now remember how I said this site is the resume of someone? Well, that means that there's contact information on here. So I had the amazing idea of getting into contact with this guy. I asked if he wanted to answer a few questions, and he agreed. He was able to confirm stuff like how it was Sega's decision to push Boom merchandise, and how most of the Collector Series figures were quote-unquote 2 steps away from production. He also showed pictures of physical Tomy 2016 and 2018 catalogs. I didn't even know those existed, I thought they were just digital. So yeah, biggest of shoutouts to this guy who made Tomy Sonic possible. It's so sad all this was cancelled. Tomy was gonna make Amy, Eggman, Shadow, Supersonic, and so much more. Think of what Tomy would have made after 2018. Characters like Blaze, Rouge, Cream, Big, and the Chaotix. They were all within reason if we got stuff like classic Supersonic, Chow, and Vector plushes. Yeah, it's sad none of this came out, but think of what did come out. We got figures of Chow, Zavik, Infinite, and all kinds of other stuff companies wouldn't even think about making. Even though it's sad, I hope Tomy will be remembered for years to come.